Dele walked in and was stunned by the sight before him. His children were on their knees. Allah's face was streaked with tears. David's lips were quivering, his eyes red. And his wife was sitting right in front of them like a disciplinarian in a military barrack with her legs placed on their backs. Dele froze. What is going on here? He stammered. Immediately, Nneka jumped to her feet and let out a nervous smile. She quickly walked over to him and kissed him. "Honey, you're back," she said, collecting his suitcase. But Dele wasn't buying it. "I said, what is going on here? Why are my children kneeling down?" "And you were, what?" He stared at her in disbelief. "Babe, just go upstairs first and freshen up." "You're tired," Nneka said, reaching for his tie. "Don't touch me." Dele jerked back, disgusted. Then he rushed to the kids, pulling them up into his arms and hugging them. "Baby, are you okay?" he asked, wiping Ella's tears, then David's. "Don't worry, I'm here now. You're fine, okay?" he whispered, still holding them close. Then he stood up and turned to Nneka with fire in his eyes. "Jesus Christ, how could you? What kind of mother are you?" he snapped. Nneka just stared at him. "What do you mean, what kind of mother?" "They were being stubborn, and I had to punish them." "What? That's what you call punishment? Asking them to kneel and placing your leg on top of them? That's not discipline, that's wickedness." "Who are you? What have you done to my wife?" "What do you mean by that? It's still me, Nneka." "Your wife," she yelled back. Dele shook his head. "No, you're not. The Nneka I know would never do something so heartless to her own children. That wasn't wickedness, that was training," she fired back. "Training my foot. Don't you ever, I repeat, don't you ever treat my children like that again," Dele said, turning to walk upstairs. "They are my children too, Dele. And you can't tell me how to train them." She followed him, shouting. Dele stopped and turned to face her. "You've changed. You really have. Since your sister was buried, I lost my wife. You're not the same person anymore. You act like someone else entirely. What's going on, Nneka? What has come over you? Did you lose your senses the same day you lost your sister?" Slap. Nneka slapped him. Tears filled her eyes as she stormed upstairs playing victim. Dele just stood there, stunned. He clenched his jaw, hands running through his hair as he let out a deep, frustrated groan. Later that night, Nneka was still ignoring Dele. She didn't say a word, just laid on the bed with her back turned, crying softly into her pillow, playing the victim, trying to blackmail him emotionally with her pretense, and sadly, Dele fell for it. Guilt washed over him. He climbed into bed beside her and stared at her quietly for a moment. Then he touched her arm gently. "Babe, I'm sorry," he said in a low voice. "Don't touch me," she snapped. He sat up, still touching her. "Babe, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said those things earlier. I don't even know what came over me." Nneka wiped her tears. "You know how hard it was for me losing my sister. You know how traumatizing that day was. You know, Dele." She burst into tears again, and Dele immediately pulled her into his arms. "I'm so sorry, my love," he whispered, hugging her tightly. Nneka secretly gave out a mischievous smile. Her plan was working. Slowly, she stopped crying and let herself relax in his arms. Then he started kissing and tickling her. "I'm sorry, my love," he repeated. Nneka let out a little laugh and smiled. She was giving in. Dele held her face and planted soft kisses on her cheek, her neck, her shoulder. Then he stopped. Wait, something changed in his face. His whole expression froze. Nneka looked at him, confused. "What is it? Why did you stop?" Dele squinted, staring at her shoulder. His brows drew together. "Honey, where's your mole?" he asked. "The mole? You used to have a mole on your left shoulder." "It used to be right there. Where did it go?" She froze. Her breathing changed. Her face went pale. Dele stared at her. His heart started to race. "You're not my wife," he said. Dele felt stupid, confused, frustrated, shocked. He sat alone in the bar, downing every shot of alcohol he could lay his hands on like it would erase everything. But it didn't. The tears still came. Last night kept replaying in his head like a broken record. He remembered clearly how she gave that flimsy excuse. Something about scratching off the mole by mistake. What kind of nonsense lie was that? The moment he didn't believe her, the moment she saw her cover had been blown. She ran, just like that, out of the house. He remembered his wife telling him, a long time ago, that the only thing that made her and her twin different was a mole. Just one mole. Her twin didn't have it. That was the only difference. And he missed it. How didn't he know? How could he have been so blind? The person he had been living with, sleeping beside, raising children with, wasn't his wife. The signs were there, Dele. The anger. The coldness. The kids. The fights. The lies. Oh no. He held his chest. How was I so foolish? My wife would be so disappointed in me. He cried, louder this time. Oh no, Dele, what have you done? Regret hit him like a tidal wave followed by pain, then grief. My wife was gone, and I didn't even know, he whispered to himself. I've been living with a stranger all this time. How did I not notice? What came over me? His chest tightened as he stood up and staggered out of the bar. The alcohol wasn't helping anymore. It just made the pain heavier. When he got home, he pushed open the door and froze. There she was, Nneka. She was sitting there smiling at him like nothing had happened. What was she doing here? And why was she acting like this? He thought angrily. But that wasn't even the worst part. Right there, in front of her, were his children kneeling on stones. Their hands were raised up crying in pain. His heart stopped. His mind blanked. His legs almost gave way. His veins tensed. His face turned red. His blood boiled. He stormed forward. What are you doing to my children? He shouted, rage in his voice. But Nneka just smiled, a calm wicked one. What does it look like I'm doing? I'm punishing them, Dele. And besides, they're also my children, she said. No, they're not. You wicked woman. What did you do to my wife? Dele roared. Nneka smiled again, slower this time. What do you mean by that? I am your wife, Dele. Don't forget, you married me, right, at the altar. We exchanged vows, she said, touching the ring on her finger. Dele shook his head like he was trying to shake off a nightmare. No, you manipulated me. I'm sure I wasn't in my right senses. She laughed out loud, giving out a chilling tone. Well, you're mine now, and there's no going back. Look, our rings, she said, pointing at his hand and hers. You gave it to me, honey, she added with a smirk. Suddenly, Ella let out a loud cry. Her knees had given way on the stone. The sharp edges had pierced her skin. Blood was trickling down onto the floor. Dele's eyes widened. He looked back at Nneka with tears filling his eyes. You're a witch. You deserve to die, he shouted, rushing forward to carry his daughter. But before he could reach her, Nneka rubbed something strange across his face. And just like that, Dele went blank. His eyes dulled. His expression faded. He stood like a lifeless puppet. Nneka gave out a slow, wicked smile. Honey, you just got back from work. Go upstairs and rest, okay? When you're done, come give me a massage, she said sweetly. Dele nodded like a robot, picked up his briefcase, and walked upstairs without another word. Once he was gone, Nneka burst into a hysterical laughter. Yen yen yen, you're a wicked woman. You deserve to die, she mocked him in a high-pitched voice. Everybody is under my control now, she laughed louder. She turned to David. Hey, come here. Bring your back, let me put my legs on you. The poor boy, shaking, stepped closer and bent over. Nneka placed both feet on his back and picked up her wine, sipping as she laughed again. I am the queen now. Nobody questions my authority. Ha ha ha. Days passed, and Nneka's wickedness only grew worse. She carried herself like the queen of the house, celebrating her so-called victory and walking around as if she owned the world. Dele was completely under her control now, just like the children. No one dared question her authority. Then one day, she returned from the hospital glowing with excitement. She walked in and immediately hugged Dele, her joy spilling out like sunshine. Baby, guess what? She said, planting a kiss on his lips. What? He asked, a little confused. I'm pregnant, she screamed, eyes sparkling. Dele's mouth dropped open in shock. Oh my God, babe, are you serious? I'm going to be a father. She nodded eagerly, and Dele didn't hesitate. He lifted her up in his arms and spun her around in a full circle. Nneka threw her head back and laughed with glee. While they were still celebrating, Little footsteps padded into the room. The children walked up to Dele, tugging gently at the hem of his trousers. "Daddy, we're hungry," David said softly. "We haven't eaten anything since morning," Ella added, her eyes teary. Dele's heart softened immediately. He was about to bend down and talk to them when Nneka's expression suddenly turned cold. "Honey, I need a massage right now," she said angrily and turned away without another word. "But the children said they are hungry," Dele said, but Nneka immediately interrupted him. "Are you choosing your children over me or what?" she asked him. Hearing that, Dele stood up quickly and followed her into the bedroom, leaving the children behind, silent and heartbroken on the sitting room floor. The next morning, Dele was getting ready to leave for work when David ran to him in tears. "Daddy, Daddy, Ella is not feeling fine," he cried. Dele's face changed instantly. "Why, what happened to her?" "I don't know. She's been shivering since last night," David said, still sobbing. Dele was about to rush to check on her when Nneka suddenly appeared in the room. "And where do you think you're going to?" she asked calmly. "David just told me Ella isn't feeling fine. I want to check on her. Maybe drop her off at the hospital on my way to work," he explained. Nneka moved closer and smiled faintly. "Baby, there's no need for that. If you lose your job, what will we feed on, especially now that you're expecting a child?" she said, rubbing her stomach gently. She leaned in and kissed him. "Don't worry, okay? I'll take her to the hospital myself. Just go to work." Dele sighed in relief. "Thanks, babe. You're a lifesaver," he said, gave her a quick kiss, and hurried out. As soon as he left, Nneka's face turned stone cold. She looked at David with anger. "Where is she?" she asked harshly. "She's in the room," David replied softly. "Take her to the car," she ordered. Then she walked into the room to get dressed. Moments later, she came out. "Have you put her in the car?"